Hey my lovelies, and welcome back to my channel on episode 17 of Whimsy Stories Generation 2. And our girl Willow, who is currently living on her own with Kuro, has gotten a makeover. It's been a few days since the last episode, and she's been she started her job as a middle school teacher. So she decided to change up her look a bit, try to change her way from looking as somebody in university to somebody a little bit more grown up. I think she looks amazing. I also gave her a bunch of new outfits to match with her more grown up side. So we have this kind of cardigan with skirt combination. This one she already had, and this one she already had, but then we also have this top and skirt combination. We have two new formal outfits, which are pants with a top to look a little bit more grown up, but maybe this can also be for parent teacher conference, PTA days. I don't know. I don't know how to say it in English. We don't have a specific word for that in Dutch, but it's the evenings where parents and teachers are talking together about how it is going with the kids. We did hear back from our realtor, so we do have a bunch of house listings. So let me open that one up. So here we have all the house listings, and basically if we go here, this is occupied. Then we have unoccupied, so nobody's living here, and empty lots. I'm not sure about the empty lots. We will go for those just to check them out. For occupied, everything that is above 3 bedrooms, I'm not going to go for since I already know that this is going to be way out of our budget. Get Scratch Cottage, we're not going to go for either since that one has 1 bedroom. So everything that has 1 bedroom or 0 bedrooms, we're not going to go for either. So for example, this one is going to be way too expensive. This one as well. And then the Brindleton starter, we're not going to go either since that is where Oak lives. So everything else we can go. I know Cottage say I already know that I'm not going to like that one since I filmed this episode earlier, but I had a lot of distractions, so I wasn't happy with the quality. So I'm refilming this. This one I'm gonna skip since I don't like it either. So basically, we're gonna start with Dogden. I'm not gonna like. What are we gonna start with? Waterway unfurnished. We're gonna not do anything spilled neat. Old Foundry is gonna be out of our budget. I'm just gonna go through all of these, but I do know a few ones that I am going to like, such as... Oh, this is only the occupied ones, never mind. We are going to do this one, which I actually did prepare a little bit for her, since I do think this one might be very nice. Then we are going through some of the other things. Can I just select it from here? Yeah, I can just select it this way. So I'm just going to go through all of this and see what we like of those, and then we'll do some house viewings. I'll go through 2 house viewings to see, like, to show you how I would go through this, to also show you the process. I'm not going to go through all of them. Same with the negotiations, I'll only go through one, but I'm going to basically give an indication this might be the case. This one will be one of the houses that I really like. Just so I don't spend too much time on it during this episode. I also want to get the mortgage. I want to move there. So to save a little bit of time, I'm not going to go through all the houses and only show the most interesting ones. So to start off, as soon as you go to a home tour, which you can basically do by going into the phone, real estate, check house listings. Here you can check the house listings, which I've all selected. Here we can ask to start the home tours, which will immediately bring us to the lot. And there we have the option to appraise objects. So we can click on the objects appraise, and she can say what she likes. I've already started slowly decorating this one, as I thought this one might be very nice in the center of Windenburg, close to a library, close to a few other things. I want to place a supermarket down where she can go grocery shopping. And I want her to have the maximalist or cozy maximalist style. That means very colorful, very decorated. So this is kind of the idea that I had in mind for one of the downstairs bathrooms, and then the upstairs bathroom is looking very similar in that regard. But we'll see whether she likes it. I don't know if she liked it. I don't. Okay, the plants she might not be interested in. Did you like the lamp? Let's appraise it again. Because I'm not sure whether she liked it. I don't think she likes these plants, but we can get rid of the planters. Okay, she doesn't like the lamp. How about this mirror? We're gonna check the mirror. And then as soon as you've appraised the objects that you want to appraise or that you want to check, it's also a good way to see whether she likes it. Okay, we can change out the mirror. But I think it's also because I haven't set her style yet. We can ask about the appraised value and it will tell us whether the value is what the value is both when you buy with all the furnishings and what the value is if you buy it without the furnishings. It will also tell you the lot dimensions, the amount of bedrooms, the amount of bathrooms, whether there's landscaping, outdoor living, fountains, as well as something about the neighborhood in terms of where the world is, education levels, all those kind of things. For this one, the lot has been found at 28K if it's furnished, and that is a price of plus 9.5% due to all of these things here that either decrease or increase the value. So, for example, unemployment decreases the value, Windenburg increases the value, and then all of these percentages are put together and you get the pricing. It's 22K without furnishing, and that is within our budget. I want to spend a maximum of 30K and try to get a loan for 30K or a mortgage for 30K. So we have 12K remaining to basically work on the interior. For now, we're going to put this one on the short list, and that will be basically say that if we want this house or after we've seen everything, we can go into a negotiation for all of the houses or the one that we like the most, negotiate the price, and basically decide from there if we buy it with the negotiated price. So you can either get a lower price or if your negotiation goes really wrong, depending on the value of the added value of your realtor, you might either get a higher price or a lower price based on what you want to offer and what the counter offers are. So it is a little bit of a mini game that you can play as well. And I think now we're gonna go to North Haven to check out the next house. I have selected, I think, around 7 houses. So again, we're not gonna go through all of them. So here there's not much that we can actually appraise since it's just an empty lot, which does mean that we need to pay a lot more. But we can ask the value of the empty lot, ask how... Yeah, there's definitely not much that we can, but it's perfect for any history buff. Build a new home or business on the canal side lot and add your own chapter. So we could create a very nice house. I would have to build it for her, which I would make a whole video out of it. But we are just gonna ask the value of this one. I don't think she would like to build a house unless this is a really cheap lot or we can really get our money's worth. Basically, 3K, that's not much. If we can even get the price lower, it might be really interesting to build our own house. So we are going to make the decision to add this one to the shortlist as well. And then I'm going to do this for all of the houses. The only issue that we have here is we might not have a backyard. And I think she would like a backyard. So we're just going to check all of the houses and we're just going to see what we end up with. But yeah, I'm going to do all of this and then get back to you lovelies as soon as we start the negotiation process. This is one of the houses in Gibby Point, and I know it's not negotiation yet, but it's a very big house. One thing that I like about it is the amount of space. So there's a lot of things we can do. There is a backyard that we can renovate. I have not lived in Gibby Point yet, so that might be very interesting as well. But I do think the value of this house might be out of our budget. So it would really depend on what the value would be for it unfurnished, as I don't think we're going to be able to buy it with the furnishings. It does have 3 bedrooms basically and a huge upstairs bathroom. So we would be able to have enough space for kids. It's very modern. Yeah, I think this is going to be out of our budget. It's very nice. There's a lot of things, but it's definitely going to be more expensive than what we can pay for. So in this case, we make the decision to continue without adding it to the shortlist. And that's basically how I check it is, does she like it? Is the space good for being here at least for a few episodes? And is it something that she can afford? So in this case, it's a beautiful house. but we cannot afford it at the moment. We've concluded the house tours, so now we go back into our phone and go back to our real estate, check house listings, and now we can start the negotiation battle. There are two that we have selected. The 1250 Havascourt, which is a house that I've already kind of decorated for her, and the Comfortably Canal side, where we do have to build our own house. For both of them, we're going to do a negotiation battle, which is basically this kind of mini game where you ask your realtor for advice, or you do what your mind is telling you. You give an offer, or you wait for the first offer. You give a counter offer, and basically you get to a final value of the house. And based on that final offer, that's what you're going to have to pay for the house. So we are here back in Windenburg. We need to introduce ourselves to either the realtor or the seller, the seller's realtor or the realtor. Just checking, we have somebody with 2 years of experience and only a 1-star rating. Ours is 16 years of experience and a 4-star rating. So that does give us a little bit more confidence that we can get a lower price. We're going to do friendly introduction, since we need to do that in order to be able to start the negotiation battle. So let's head over to the introduction, please. She did the introduction. Don't walk away from us now. We need to start this battle. But please let me do this. More choices, real estate, start negotiation battle. So as soon as you start a negotiation battle, you will get a pop-up. And that is saying you can start it for furnished and unfurnished. We're going to start it for furnished, since we can get the little bathrooms that I did with the house. So furnished it is. And then it says negotiation battles. A negotiation battle. Negotiation battles are a clash of wits where two parties try to consent on the value of a property. In this tactical, turn-based minigame, you must make smart and reasonable offers to meet the expectations of your opponent, all the while getting yourself the best possible deal. The negotiation lasts for a total of 3 rounds, each more competitive than the last. Every round lets you and your opponent place in one offer respectively. Both parties may also place a final offer anytime, thereby leading negotiation to an ultimatum: either accept the offer or leave. That can be a big power play if you time it right, but could also completely ruin the negotiation if you do it haphazardly. So think carefully. A good realtor will give you valuable insight on the current state of the negotiation and provide comprehensive tips on how to proceed. Likewise, the opponent's realtor may pick up on your attentions too, so remember to keep their realtor rating in mind when you make your decisions. So the first round, we are going to ask our realtor for advice, who says their realtor seems to be shaking in their boots, Willow, and we can definitely take advantage of that. Place your first offer as low as 22.1k. Let's get yourselves a deal, which is more than 6k lower than the current value. I'm actually going to do it at 22k, not the 22.1k. And we're gonna place our offer. It's a little bit lower than what she said, but we really want to get a low price as possible. And Willow does feel a little bit confident. They're saying, yeah, 22k, it's going to cut it, friends. 23.9k is more of my liking. What do you think, Campbell? Which is, of course, Diana Campbell is our realtor. So we are going to ask for the realtor's advice, and she says it's a good price point. It's already well within our price point. However, I think we can still counter off with 23.3. I'm going to do... You can follow her, but I'm going to do a little bit lower again and do 23,100. So that's our counter offer. And we still get the offer in... They don't want to budge on it. So we are going to try to see what our realtor is saying now. Ask for realtor's advice. Around 23,700 around 23,700 as the final offer, that will grant us a very good deal. So we're gonna make it a little lower and do 23,600 since it's around, and I think that might be a very good one. It's 300 lower than their offer, so it's still close, but I do think we have a very good position. Enough is enough. My friend's final offer is going to be... It's gonna stay at 23,900, so we had to do it as a final offer, which we didn't. We should have done it as a final offer. But we are gonna accept the offer, and basically we got a almost 5K discount on our house. So that's basically how the negotiation goes. It's kind of a needy game. I could have listened to our realtor, but I also wanted to see what happens if we don't fully listen, just to show you lovelies how it works. But it's definitely a nice price for this house, given that we have a lot of space and 2 bedrooms. We're also going to do this for the other lot, and I will do that off camera, so I don't have to bore you lovelies with that process again, since it will be the same process. But basically, once we have the value of both, I'm going to see what I would prefer, if I would prefer to have a nice house, to build the house ourselves, or whether I'm going to just live in the one in Windenburg. Kind of preferring Windenburg, but we can see if I can get this around 2.3k, then we can build the house. If I don't get it around 2.3k and it's higher, we will just go with Windenburg. And the final offer actually ended up being higher than the appraised value, so we're gonna decline the offer and leave, which means we will be buying the house in Windenburg. So the next step is that we are gonna go to the bank that I placed down in, I believe, Newcrest. I think it's Newcrest, so we are gonna go to Newcrest, we are gonna get our bank loan, and from there we can buy our house and slowly start decorating. This is no joke. It took me over an hour to get this lot to work. I had 2 different versions, both which were not working. One was missing the official items that you need. The other one did have the items, but the Sims, just like you see there, kept spawning and despawning. I do think one of the loan officers spawned and is going into their office. We have a bank teller over here, which I didn't have the first time. And we have an account manager. Please, do we also have a loan officer? We have a loan officer. We're going to request assistance from a loan officer. We're going to stop chatting with Patrice because we don't know Patrice. And apparently the Flower Bunny and the Grim Reaper are here to also get a bank account or a loan or anything. But it is the next day. It took me so long that the time has passed. I did want to make sure that she finished her work, so I decided to finish the rest of her day and then get back into the whole mortgage, buying a house process the next day, which also is typical. You don't do it all in one day. But it took me way, way too long. We're now requesting help, so we are gonna apply for a mortgage. It will cost us 75 simoleons application, and it will give us the funds to get a new home. We're going to do it from our savings account, which we already had set up. Please enter the price of the property you intend to purchase, and then we need to share how much cash. So the price of the property, I believe it was 3,000 simoleons, what we're going to say 20, 25? Actually, we're going to say 30. We're actually going to say 30. The percentage that we're gonna pay, 20% of 30 is 6,000, so that should be okay. So the application that we get is for 24,000, which is great because that means that we have more than enough to pay the money, and we will have the remaining of our funds to use that for the decoration, so that should give us enough. We are going to, let's see, 24/8, pay back in 8 weeks or pay back in 12 weeks at a lower rate. I'm gonna go pay back in 12, which means that we need to pay 2,000 simoleons every week for 12 weeks with 1.25% interest for a total of, for our property. Consequence of non-payment will result in late fees, repossession, foreclosure, and eventually a lawsuit, which is not gonna happen because she is gonna pay on time. We got the mortgage, and basically once we go into escrow during the closing process of buying a new property, by doing so your mortgage will automatically cover the cost of the home. This agreement is only available for the next 7 days. So if we go onto our phone now, go to real estate, check house listings, closing process, the only one we have is this one, which the mortgage fully covers. And we are gonna go into escrow. That means that we basically have a loan amount of 9,120. We paid this. Weekly payments will be this, and the total, because they basically adjusted for the total property amount, so we won't get the full money. But if we complete the mortgage payment, that means we pay the house with the mortgage. If we then pay the earnest money before the closing process of 956 simoleons, that means that now we can pay the mortgage down payment, pay the additional closing fees, which does take a lot out of our money. And from there on, I think we need to pay our realtor as well. So again, it does take a lot of our money. But if we officially submit now, we are the owner of the house. We finally have a house in Windenburg. We are going to set it as our main home. And from there, we are going to travel to it. I realized that I forgot to put some stuff in our inventory. So hopefully we still have the rent. Otherwise, we still have the other rental home so we can get the stuff. Otherwise, I will have to rebuy that. But we got a home. So we have arrived officially at our home, which we can fully decorate now. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to travel back to the rental property since I do think we still have it and it's still our place, but it's not our main address. We're going to get all of the stuff that we need for our inventory, everything that we want to bring with us, everything else is going to stay at the property. We will say goodbye to our rental, but now we have officially moved. Let's see, Rochester. It does say that we still live here, so we should be able to get there, and we can just put in our notice. We can get all the stuff that we need and head back to our home and start living our life as a young adult with a job, who wants to have kids, and we're gonna start that whole process. And it is now official. We have got our stuff out of the house. I will make different pictures or picture frames to hang on the walls, since the ones that I did, they don't really fit the style, so I want to make something that fits more of the style. I slowly started placing already some items. I placed the chairs, the table, and the painting made by her mom. I've deleted the planter boxes here to give us a bit more money, but also since she didn't like them. The lamps I will keep because I do think she liked them. The bathrooms, I think she wasn't fully 100% with it, but she did like it for as far as I knew. And then I have a small office space over here that I created for her, which is fine for now, but we will slowly decorate it. I will off camera, or maybe I will do it I will do it off camera since I still need to check the budget. But in the next episode, we will have a little bit of decoration and I will go over it. I did post on X and Blue Sky a few days or few weeks back some pictures of inspiration on what I want her house to look like. It's very decorated, very colorful. It's not a style that I'm really used to. For example, this is the cozy maximalist style. It's something I am definitely not used to, but I am really excited on trying a style like this out. I think, for example, one of the things that we will do is change out the doorpost to be a warmer brown, for example, since that will already fit much more with the style. Also, this one, I think this is the swatch that I think this is a swatch that is fitting, but it's going to look a lot better compared to what we had before. Maybe I'm going to even change out the windows to this more warmer brown, and maybe even change... Can I change out the house to a warmer brown? I'm really debating on whether I can do it with the house as well. I think, honestly, no. I'm not going to change out the house. I'm not going to change out the windows or this door here. But the doors inside I can definitely change out. In terms of flooring, one thing that I'm going to do is... This is going to save us some money. But I'm actually going to do darker flooring. Or very warm, very dark floor. Maybe even darker. I think this is too dark. But I'm kind of thinking... of something that is potentially a lot warmer than it is right now, and a little bit darker, and maybe even matching. So I think the one I had at first, this one, might already be very nice to place down and to have. And then I will change these out for either white walls or walls with a pattern, or a mixture of sometimes pattern, sometimes white. And the stairs as well. One thing very important, the stairs, we're gonna make the same brown as well, which I believe is this color. And same for the railing. The railing is also going to be... The railing is also going to be brown since it fits a lot better. And now that we have this, can I only do left rail? No. Right rail? Yes. And final thing, we're the mega basic fence. This is also going to be that brown color. Just so it's already a lot warmer and looking a lot better. All the doors here are going to be changed. So it's definitely going to look very different in the next episode. But I hope you lovelies are excited for this. I'm going to end the episode here so I can start decorating and get this ready for the next episode. So I hope you lovelies liked it. If you do, click the like button down below. Let me know what you thought of this whole house buying process. And if you're not subscribed yet and don't want to miss out on either a wholesome or chaotic video, make sure you click the little like button down below as well. And I'll see you lovelies in the next one.